Hello. I want to share and talk about violence and the sex and lust. I had an interesting talk yesterday with my son and a good close friend of mine, and they were talking about violence and about it being normal or not normal. It had me reflecting on it throughout the rest of the day. What people believe is that violence is normal. And the same with the bar my running nose. The same with lust and sex or the sexuality. People want to believe that it's normal. And my own reflection on it right now is that physical intimacy between, husband and wife, man and woman kind of thing is normal, but the extreme focus on sex and everything being extremely sexualized is not normal. But they want us to believe that it's normal, so that we won't we won't say no to it. We won't resist and try to change what has been corrupted. Because sex between a man and woman, husband and wife, when you want to show the love for each other, when you want to procreate and make a baby, is a beautiful thing. And that's the way God designed it and made us. But it's become very extreme and very tainted and corrupted. And you look at violence, people want to say that violence is normal. And I would say the same thing in terms of that, is that violence is not normal, but we've been programmed and conditioned to believe and think it is. That way we won't try to resist things being violent. We won't try to change and make things better, because we gotta believe that that's how things are. That's how we as a species are, and I would disagree with that. And the more of us that can disagree and see things from a, I want to say, more true or more higher level of awareness, the more we can create the change and stop this insanity. Now, in terms of violence, it is natural when someone's hurting you to want to stop them so that you're not being hurt. But that's not being violent. That's just defending yourself. It's the natural instincts of a soul, of the physical body, to want to be safe. Dogs by nature are not aggressive, but if you're hurting a dog, the dog's natural reaction is going to be to bite you, not to hurt you, but to stop you from hurting it. And it's the same with a cat. You bug a cat when it doesn't want to be bugged. It's going to scratch you because you're bugging it, and it's defending itself. But they're not being violent. And we're the same way. There are people whose nature is to dominate. They're more aggressive. Their dharma is that of a warrior, so they want to be a warrior and conquer. But beyond that, the violence that we see, and there's lots of violence to be seen. You look at social media, YouTube, movies, TV shows. There's so much violence, and it's been that way since I was a boy, but it's become more extreme. I think back in the 70s, growing up, that the amount of violence that was there is very tame and mild. Now it's become very extreme. Some of the sexual stuff, there's things that you would never see in the 70s on TV or a movie show, and now things have become so extreme, but that's the programming and conditioning that they're doing to us to get us to believe that this is how we are, this is how life is, this is what our nature is. That way, we won't try to resist and be who we truly are and to live in peace, to have healthy, loving relationships with each other and with ourselves. And you don't have to agree with what I'm sharing, but I do hope that you will reflect upon things and, use your own intuition and thinking to think it out. That's part of what they don't want. They don't want you to think. They don't want you to think critical. They don't want you to be aware or to be self-aware, which is what you want.